in a tumultuous time. The future of America will be decided in the coming months. And it seems that the nation is more divided than ever. The office of the president is sacred. Ever since George Washington first took hold of it, till now in post-apocalyptic America, when Aaron Kimball holds it. And though he has detractors, people who call him a war hawk, a profligate, dissolute, I know in my heart that assassinating the president is wrong. It is wrong, and we should put a stop to it. And that's what will happen in this episode of The Perfect Playthrough. So let's talk to Ranger Grant and hear all about security.
I'm glad you're here to help us out. This is a delicate matter, and we need all the help we can get from people we can trust. We've got a lot to do to prepare for the president's visit, and not much time. Once we start, we'll be on a strict timetable. Are you ready?
I have some questions.
Ask your questions, but keep it short.
Can I use my weapons during the president's visit?
We trust you, so you're free to have your weapons. Just don't do anything too crazy, and we'll back you up.
What are your security arrangements?
Security detail consists of rangers stationed here at the dam. Some will keep an eye on the crowd while others will watch the perimeter. Snipers and sharpshooters have been assigned to key locations, and we also have a special canine unit sniffing out members of the crowd. I've also locked down access to critical locations, such as the landing platform on the visitor center.
I'm going to need access everywhere.
Alright, I'll give you full access.
It's important to get that dialogue option to actually get full access, as you will not have it without that dialogue option. Do you have a detailed schedule for the visit?
I have a full itinerary here. Here you go.
Do you have any leads on possible security threats?
The Legion will definitely try something. We don't have any solid leads yet. I'd almost expect something direct from them. Given the circumstances, there's a possibility of something more subtle, like sabotage. But since we don't have anything solid, we'll just have to keep our eyes out for anything out of the ordinary.
And what can I do to help?
Someone like you. I'm just glad to have you on board. Do whatever you can. Security sweeps, talk to people, keep an eye out.
I'm done with questions.
If there's nothing else, then let's get moving.
I'm all set.
Good. The president doesn't arrive until tomorrow. Get some rest. I'll brief you in the morning.
Fun fact, all your hardcore meters get reset.
Glad you could join us. Most of my men are already on duty, and the crowd has already started gathering outside. We've got a busy day ahead of us.
So what's the plan for today?
The plan is to get through today without the shit hitting the fan. So I'll be overseeing the security team personally, and keeping in constant contact with people over the radio. It's a good bet that the Legion is gonna try something today, so we have to be prepared for anything. We'll do whatever it takes to get the president through this visit in one piece.
Let's get this show on the road.
President Kimball is arriving shortly. If you want to do any last-minute security sweeps or take a look around for anything suspicious, do it now. Once you're ready, meet me outside on the observation deck. Don't take too long.
So first, let's read that schedule, that itinerary that we were given. Hoover Dam Presidential Visit Schedule. The President will visit Hoover Dam to give a speech to the troops and award a medal to Private Watson for his bravery and service to the NCR. The President is scheduled to arrive via Vertibird from California. The Vertibird will land on top of the Visitor Center, where Colonel Moore will meet the President and escort him out to the stage. After a brief introduction by Colonel Moore, the President will give his speech. The speech will only take approximately 4 minutes. During the speech, the President will award a medal to Private Jeremy Watson for his service to the NCR. Once the speech is over, the President will be escorted directly back through the Visitor Center to his Vertibird for immediate departure. In the event of an emergency, the speech will be canceled and the President will be rushed to the Vertibird for immediate departure. If there is a problem with the Vertibird, A room on the second level of the visitor center will be used as a safe room to keep the president secure until any threat is over. Access to this room has been restricted, and Colonel Moore has the key in her desk. Fun fact, his vertibird is called Bear Force One. So we will investigate the surrounding area for clues before we talk to Ranger Grant, starting with this terminal. There we go. And let's read Hoover Dam Security Report. With the President's arrival today, security is running a final sweep of the area, making preparations. Only members of the security team will have weapons at the President's speech. This means that all troopers at the speech must relinquish their weapons beforehand. We will limit people allowed to see the speech to a small number to reduce any potential risk to the President. I've gotten word that the President is traveling with only 2 Rangers, so our security team will need to be on full alert. I'd still like to log in my concerns about not having enough time to prepare for this, but we'll do our job here today. Grant. Then we'll read Security Duty Roster. As we read this, we notice that the duty roster has been accessed by an unknown login ID. It'd be a good idea to keep an eye out for anything out of the ordinary. Interesting. So it seems the Legion already knows our plans. Well, here are the security assignments for the President's visit. The basic assignments are this. Rangers will secure the perimeter and keep an eye out for any external threats. Additional Rangers will be stationed around the stage and the crowd. Their primary job is to keep an eye on the crowd to make sure nothing funny happens. I want sharpshooters positioned at the following potential sniper locations. Visitor Center roof, Western Ridge, Dam Tower 1 roof. I want a radio up here to check in. Stay frosty today. Nothing bad is going to happen on our watch. Grant. And finally, the engineering report. We've received word that the President's vertibird is having some issues with the flight control computer. I've had some of the techs here examine the logs that were sent, and we think we can fix the issue with a small computer update. Ranger Grant has given me permission to have one of the NCR engineers examine the vertibird when it arrives, as well as having our computer update the vertibird systems after it arrives. Mike Lawson. Interesting. So it seems the Legion knows of our plans. They know where we're going to keep our snipers, and they know that an engineer will have unrestricted access to the President's vertibird. But as we investigate everyone, we notice they're all wearing face wraps and covering, or are behind stripped power armor, and we're having a tough time discerning if anyone's from the Legion. So let's ask around.
Hey, you haven't seen my friend around here, have you? His name is Ben, and he's an engineer. We were supposed to meet up so we can watch the President's speech together, but he hasn't shown up yet.
I haven't seen him.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll just keep waiting. Sorry to bother you.
Ah, so it seems an engineer named Ben is missing. Well, we look around, and that engineer is a woman. Also not named Ben, but just engineer. And the same thing over here. We can't find Engineer Ben. Perhaps he's in this supply closet. As we go into the supply closet with our keen perception, we notice this pool of blood. We examine the stain. We examine the area and notice a bloody wrench and a toolbox nearby. Someone was killed here recently, and judging by the scene, it was one of the engineers. You should keep an eye out for any engineers acting strangely. So it seems our hunch was correct. The Legion has killed one of these engineers and is now impersonating them, allowing them unrestricted access to the President's vertibird. We'll have to keep an eye out for any engineers. We know Ben is missing, so it'll most likely be a male engineer. Our eyes will be peeled throughout the speech. We are a top quality Secret Service, so we know that the speech will be successfully given in its entirety.
If I was the assassin, I'd be up on that ridge. Or if I didn't care about escaping, maybe that near tower, or the landing pad behind us.
Interesting. Boone says the ridge, Dam Tower 1, or the landing pad behind us. echoing the placements of snipers in the security report. Now, we're actually going to send Boone home quickly, as that is his only interaction, and he can sort of tell if people are members of the Legion. So why don't you head back home? But we still have our K9 unit, so let's begin and talk to Ranger Grant.
Have you finished your security sweep?
I'm ready. When will the president be here?
Looks like that's his vertibird coming right now. It's showtime. Let's not mess this up. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got some security procedures to oversee.
And we look over the ridge, and there it is, Bear Force One. And we look in the crowd, and there aren't any engineers. But there it is. The vertibird coming in. The sweet NCR two-headed bear logo painted on it. And there's the president, flanked by the two rangers mentioned previously and being escorted by Colonel Moore. And now we will start listening to the speech.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you for coming out here today for this very special occasion. It is my pleasure to introduce to you the President of the new California Republic, Aaron Kimball.
Thank you, my fellow Californians, who have come so far to answer the call to service put forth by the Republic. It is for you that I have come here. And it is because
And did you see that in the background?
I am able to do so.
Someone fell off the tower, where they were very obscure. But I was, if we're being honest, only looking there.
It is because of men and women like Private First Class,
And then we see, at the bottom, a body.
California Republic remain free. And
The ranger was killed not too long ago. He looks to be the sniper that was stationed to watch from the top of this tower.
boarded a tin shack on the outskirts
We keep a vigilant eye on the top of any structures near a presidential speech, so we'll investigate.
What are you doing up here?
Like many Californians,
There's a dead ranger downstairs.
Oh, shit.
as a
Really?
prospector.
We should go take a look.
Let's radio it in first.
I think I should check it out first before radioing it in.
No, radio it in first.
Fuck it. You're more trouble than you're worth.
Ah, it seems he was an assassin.
Raider attack.
We destroyed him pretty quickly.
Like our party Sierra Nevada. They endured.
And classic Star Wars reference. We're all fine here, thank you. How are you?
Quit goofing off and clear the channel. I'll be damned if the president dies on my watch because you were screwing around.
Alright, see you later.
Bye.
But the time came and they could no longer
Still marked as an NCR Ranger, but he is definitely a member of the
They
Legion.
called out for help. And the Republic heard them.
So that's one
Rangers, just like
threat
you,
taken care
answered
of.
the clarion call.
But there's
And
still
when they
another.
stepped forward to say,
We still need to
"I
investigate
have to wait.
this potential threat from an engineer.
We made true on our promise.
Luckily,
Driving out the Raider tribes to establish
we
a
brought our
landing
dog
base
Rex
in
with
the
us.
eastern Sierra Nevadas.
You can also steal that guy's dog if you have
Though we
any
left
fun.
behind many of our brothers and sisters on that battlefield, it did not break us. 10 years ago, Chief Elise met with representatives of the Desert Rangers to discuss terms of what would become the
It
Rangers.
seems like Rex was growling at this guy.
The treaty was more than a resolution
So let's
to welcome
investigate.
the Desert Rangers into the Republic.
And drop a quick save so our investigation is guaranteed to succeed.
To protect Southern Nevada
And there we see
against the
redundant failsafe detonator.
regime. There are some back
We pickpocket it so he won't be able to get it. But this means we have to investigate the vertebrate. Thank you, Private. We investigate the presidential vertebrate, Bear Force One, and examine further. We search the vertebrate and notice a strange item that doesn't belong. Upon examination, we notice it's a bomb. We skillfully disable the bomb and remove it from the vertebrate. So there you go. All threats to the president have ended, and we can listen to the rest of his speech.
This was the same fire that burned in the heart of the old world that preceded us. We are the heirs of that civilization, torchbearers eastward of the Pacific, into the darkness of this wasted land. When the Republic called on the men and women of California to carry that fire across the Mojave, Jeremy Watson answered. You answered. Together you carried the weight. And when PFC Watson's platoon came under attack at Forlorn Hope, he took the greatest risk. Not only for his fellow Californians, but for California itself. He was prepared to make the most noble of sacrifices to defend the principles of our republic, even here, on Nevada soil. His actions are a beacon to all of us who stand here today in tribute to his valor. Private First Class Jeremy Watson, on behalf of the Senate and people of the new California Republic, it is my honor to present you with the Star of Sierra Madre. Not far from this spot, a monument stands as a tribute to the sacrifice made by those who came before us. The men and women who fulfilled the promise we made to the Desert Rangers. Its back is inscribed with the names of the troopers and rangers who carried the weight. And because they made the most noble of sacrifices, it did not break us. 4 years ago, we held this dam. 4 years ago, we carried the weight. 4 years ago, we drew a line through the Mojave as clear as the Colorado River. A line that Caesar cannot cross. Today, you stand here with our brothers and sisters to hold that line. Today, you honor all Californians by carrying that weight. Today, you are the waves of the Pacific, pushing ever eastward. You are the sequoias rising from the Sierra Nevadas, defiant and enduring. You are the great western light of California, torchbearers in the darkness, living reminders of all that is best in our republic. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, let's get back out of here. What the hell are you waiting for? You think I want to get shot? Let's go.
And it seems like the president got caught in a hot mic a bit at the end there, but don't you worry, President, I'm looking out for you. Didn't even get grazed in the ear or anything like that. And he leisurely walks back to the visitor center. And unfortunately for that Legion spy, the bomb has been removed and the failsafe detonator is in my possession. And now the rotors spin up and Bear Force One heads safely back to California, having given its complete speech, bolstering the morale of all NCR troopers who had witnessed it, and who had heard about it successfully taking place on Hoover Dam, in blatant view of the fort. Now, let's start talking to you.
Is there a problem here?
My dog here doesn't like you.
Well, that's too bad. I'm just here to enjoy the show, so if you don't mind.
And, I found this detonator in your pocket.
What the? How'd you For the Legion!
And there you go. And they're all scrambling and going around, but the president's already gone, don't you worry. And both Legion assassins have been blown up into viscera and body parts. So let's talk to Ranger Grant. I guess we don't need to. I guess he's just happy that we completed the quest. Very well. That was a fun episode of the Perfect Playthrough. And why don't we return to Colonel Moore and tell her that the president is safely left. But we'll do that. Hey, you know what? We'll do it this time. Why not? We got plenty of time. And where's Colonel Moore? She's probably still in the visitor center. In the upstairs. Having come back in from the speech. Oh, is she just like scrambling around or something? Who knows? Well, we'll talk to Colonel Moore next time. And turn in this quest. I'll see you all then for the Fallout New Vegas Perfect Playthrough.